That's what's going on. What I'm doing today is looking for new music because I have to record a podcast for a club. I have a big cart on Bandcamp right now. I also digged a bit into Ace Digital website, which is not super filled with music. There is a lot of vinyl release that has been also released in digital, but there is not so much stuff. Other than that, I will also look on Beatport for a little bit of stuff, both for the podcast but also for the set, which will be a warm-up. So I have to look for music which is good for that section of the day, because it's a day club. The other thing that I'm working on is on the next video for YouTube. I want to make a video where I share 5 tips for mixing. This is my script for the video, so I prepared it so I can also share it on my blog if I need to, if I want to, because basically I wrote down everything. As you know, I have a Patreon, so on my YouTube channel I will keep sharing quick things, you know, that can help boost your productions. But if you want to go really into detail, Patreon is the place to be. Also, I share every month samples and projects depending on the tier that you pick. I will also share some tip in this video because otherwise nobody watch it. Now let's see if I can get some tip for you. Oh yes, I think I got it. Today we're gonna talk about the difference between automations and modulations. If you know what I mean, you can watch this video anyway. If you don't know, definitely watch this video. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so this is a very simple tip, and probably a lot of you already know about it, but what I've seen in the one-to-one sessions is that a lot of my students actually didn't know how to use it or how to properly use automations versus modulations. So this is a new track I'm working on. Okay, that's it. So as you can see, I have, and here I have a lot of pods. Some of them are made with loops, some of them are made with VSTs. Okay, so the thing is, on every one of these pods I have filters, and most of the times when I use loops especially, I use filters in a creative way, so to change very much the behavior of the synth. So to learn the difference between modulation and automation, we first move to the clip, to the session view, because this is where I basically start working with modulations, and then with automations more in the arrangement view. But you can do it on both windows, both things. So let's select this clip. This is not a clip that I used, but just to show you. So I select here. As you can see, I have a filter here. So if I switch out the filter, this is how it sounds. It's basically a simple sound that keeps going. If I go here again and I switch on the filter, let's close the cutoff a bit. That's how it sounds now. So before and after. So just remember to always select the clip you want to modulate or automate. If you then go on any parameter of the filter and press with the right click, you see show automation and show modulation. Now in this case I do it for the frequency, the cutoff frequency of the filter. So show automation. You can see here you can toggle between automation and modulation. Now let's go here first. You see the line here. It says 74.5 Hertz. So this is the value of the cutoff, is the setting of my cutoff frequency. And this is an absolute value because you see the Hertz. So if I go here, I can see 74.5. If I take this up, I go inside here, I can see 164 now. Okay, so it's linked to the position of that knob, that parameter that we want to automate. If you go to modulation, and that's what I modified here and modulated, we can see here it says 23%, 16%, minus 50%. So it's a relative value in percentage, and it's relative to the absolute value of the filter cutoff, okay? So this is a combination of the two things, because I have my filter at 164, but when the loop will be here, I will boost 23% on that value. So the filter actually will move up and down. And this is the result that I got, of course. It opens and closes, and you can see this here in the blue line. Now I still have the possibility of manually moving the filter cutoff, and I still have this modulation, but it will just happen at higher values or lower values depending on how I set the filter cutoff. You can also set the automation so that it progressively modulate the loop at higher values, like this, for example. And now you see the red dot that says it's also automated, and you see also the knob moving. But that's not what I want to do. I don't want to automate this inside the loop, because what I care about is automating this through the arrangement of the track. So using this combination of automation and modulation to make my track more interesting, my arrangement more interesting. So let's go back to my arranged track and see here the same sound. It's not the same. I changed the pitch, I changed a few things, but let's check alone. So basically through the track I automate the filter, the absolute value of the filter, so that the modulation happens at higher values, as I said. So for example here it goes up, you keep hearing the modulation, but the filter opens more and more, okay? So that's the principle, and that's how I use it to create more interest in the track. So modulation, I use it to create some rhythm. Automation, I use it to create variations, energy variations through the arrangement. It opens a bit. So to recap everything, just remember these two concepts. Automation is the absolute value of that parameter, so where you set that knob at. Modulation is a relative value, so it's relative to the absolute value, and it moves the parameter relative to that position. That's super easy. The combination of the two things is a super handy feature of Ableton that I really enjoy, that I use it a lot. Super simple, and you can now have fun with it. So to conclude, this is just a quick tip. If you want to go deeper inside the production processes, now I will share way more in-depth videos on my Patreon, so longer videos but also more in-depth. I will share tracks from scratch. We will do live sessions on Zoom, so where I can see your face, you can ask me questions, we can do things together. So basically it will be just like I did my YouTube so far, but a little bit more in-depth. Take a look at the tiers, and I hope you will join also my Patreon. Thanks guys for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.